What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Shepherd channel, coming to you with a Tuesday edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks in the NBA Street. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you. That way you become a president of great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. The neck of the YouTube woods I just want to tilt at. I mean, what is going on in the NBA today? I couldn't even get anything in without injury news and ridiculous starting lineups, and tried to react to news, and it was just non-stop. The MLB could not be coming at a better time for sure. I'm very much looking forward to Thursday. Again, that's why I'm saying NBA, Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks, because, well, you're going to have to see the difference between the two of them here coming up very, very shortly. Excited to have the MLB for opening day coming your way on Wednesday night, Thursday morning for all y'all. Check that out. Going to be awesome sauce. That's for sure. Got one future play that I'm going to be firing up there for the people as well. Looking forward to talking through that, but again, this NBA slate was just stupid. And then Vooch, 17 points by the Bulls in the first quarter against the Wizards. What are we doing here? Can't wait for MLB. NBA has been awesome. We've been smashing. Again, last week was my first non-profitable week in 5 weeks, and, well, that was pretty tilting. Again, we've been smashing. Anywho, we got 4 games here on Tuesday to break down. Hopefully, just the fact that it's only 4 games, we won't have as much injury madness to wade through. We do have 2 teams on back-to-backs in the late night hammer, and, well, we got other stuff going on. It's going to be wild. We'll check Bet365 out. We'll talk a little odd chopper down below. Producer Jacob, hi, hello. Let's get to it, friends. Let's get to the picks. Our day begins, well, I will say this. For a guy who's been tilting here on the front end, I really do like this slate a lot. Golden State, Miami gets the card started off. You know by now, second half, we picked our spots very, very nicely here with Golden State. Now, a positive against the spread team. And, well, they weren't that way at the beginning of the season. We have really ridden them to the top of the mountain, with the exception of one game in Memphis, it was. That, again, I keep looking at my sheet, and it's like, they lost? Full blast against, like, truly the corpse of Memphis at just 7.5, closed at 10.5, lost outright. Good times, good job, good effort. But we're going to be backing them here on the road going up against Miami in this one. Miami, they've finally gotten a lot of their pieces back together, but Duncan Robinson going to be missing this one yet again. So be on the lookout for that. You're going to have some minutes filled in by the likes of Patty Mills, who's been starting for a while. And then a ton of dudes on the bench Q tags. You got Kevin Love, Jaime Jaquez, Caleb Martin. Just wild stuff. As for Golden State, only guy with a Q tag period is Trace Jackson Davis. So I see this at -2. I see this -108 on FanDuel. I really don't see any way that you don't pull the trigger on that immediately here again. Do I think that Eric Spoelstra is one of the best coaches in basketball? Yes. But we're talking about Rozier, Mills, Jovic. Disregard Butler, Adebayo. I mean, Golden State has so many closing rotations that they can go to and truly play the hot hand between Curry, Podziemski. I mean, they're going to always have Curry in that closing lineup, but Podziemski, Wiggins, Klay Thompson, and Chris Paul closed last time out. Wild different runouts that they can have on a day-to-day basis. I think that bodes well for them against teams that have some injury issues, such as Miami. Again, their main piece is back, but I do like firing this one up right from the get-go. -2 gets our day started. Market-based approach. Let's talk a little odd chopper right off the bat. Just throwing this in for the people, friends. $14.95 weekly, $49.95 monthly. I bet you want to join in before MLB starts. That seems to be the sentiment here this week, is that Eric is pretty good at the old MLB betting. Yes, well, I tend to be. It is definitely my most profitable sport over the course of the last couple of years. We have home run props where you can make a lot really, really quick. Again, you might have to sustain some losses. You got to make sure that bankroll is in check. But when we get hot, we get hot. There is no doubt about that. So if you want to try it out for a week, though, for just $12, better way to do it. Promo code Lindy, 20% off, Lindy, just like that, 20% off in that bottom right corner, friends. Get the expert picks, the Discord, everything that we have to offer here at Odd Chopper, my premium betting card on days where there aren't a million missing pieces, and just firing different stuff out the positive EV tool, because again, that's going to be smarter than I'm going to be on these kind of days that are just insane in the NBA streets. Check it out all at, again, $12 using promo code Lindy for your first week. Alrighty, y'all, back to the picks. Another game that I'm pretty darn interested in some capacity. Well, in pretty much every capacity, because it is your lock of the day. We got the Lakers taking on Milwaukee, and I'm a little bit floored. I'm a little bit floored by a number here, because we know that both of these teams bring pace to the table. You got the Lakers, fourth, 100.9 possessions per 48 minutes, and Milwaukee, 100.8, yes, fifth, 4th and 5th here in pace and a 234 total. That speaks a little bit to what we have defensively, at least on the Milwaukee side, where they're 16th, 18th, kind of gone back and forth. They've gotten better in the Doc Rivers era. I tried to combine the two words. And then the Lakers. They're at 14th in adjusted defensive rating, but I can't tell you the stress that it puts on Anthony Davis to have to carry the load for D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves. And D'Angelo Russell, he ended up being a surprise scratch with an illness. He's off the injury report for this one. And you don't even have to worry so much, friends. Don't even have to worry so much about Mr. Anthony Davis going completely berserk because, well, got LeBron James doubtful. Just saying. Anthony Davis is going to probably go berserk here in that spot. What I'm getting at, friends, is we're going to the other side of this one. Opening numbers. We smashed the Vooch number. Opened at 17.5, closed at 20.5, and of course he has 0 points in the first quarter, so I'm going to be stressing like crazy here the rest of the way. But you know what? Again, you can't feed your family with closing line value, but it feels good to get because over a long sample size, we're going to be profitable having those kind of wins. They're not actual wins. Again, we want the actual wins. That's really what it comes down to, but Chris Middleton is even money over on DraftKings right now at 13.5 points. And friends, I don't understand it because Chris Middleton is playing a lot of minutes right from the get-go. I mean, we got up to 33 his second time out here. I think they're going to still be cautious with him. It's just one of those things where if he's out on the floor in any one of these type of games, you just back him at this kind of a number because even with Damian Lillard, even with Giannis Antetokounmpo, this is a guy that they want volume for. They want shots, and that's proven so far. 23.4% usage. Is it down from his 2023 and 2022 rates of 26.4 and 25.7 respectively? Yes. Yes, of course it is. But around a 60% true shooting, those quality looks are better with Dame and Giannis around him. 55.7% true shooting last season. Mid-range also, he's like number 2 in my model. 99th percentile, 55.6% from the mid-range this season. Just so happens, should be able to get a lot of that considering Anthony Davis sitting out there in the paint. And then, well, no perimeter defense to be found whatsoever, friends. So, yeah, Milwaukee, decent enough favorites here without LeBron going into Milwaukee for this one. I love Chris Middleton, this prop. 13.5 points, even money. I would play this if it's 13.5 up to minus 125. 14.5, I would be playing at around this same exact number. So you've got a little bit of room to be working with on both sides of it. I don't know what to tell you other than this is my favorite play on the board on this 4-gamer, not remotely close. I do have a play I like in this one, though, too. Oklahoma City taking on New Orleans. Man, we're going to be done really quick today, which, again, after an 11-gamer yesterday and a 12-gamer incoming on Wednesday, it's all right to have a little shorter video here for me because, well, I'm getting MLB going, friends. But Oklahoma City taking on New Orleans. The big news here, if you missed it, you're going to have one Brandon Ingram out here with this left knee injury for another couple of weeks. I'm happy it wasn't season ending. I know it's a guy who's had some knee injuries in the past. Happy to see that he's going to be okay within reason here. Dyson Daniels still on the shelf. They're going to have C.J. McCollum's enacted into larger duty, whatever I'm trying to say there. Trey Murphy here as well. Jose Alvarado, Najee Marshall, who played excellent last time out. Just be on the lookout, friends. New Orleans, I do think that this is one of those spots where Jonas Valanciunas, and you're going to get a second half start here because OKC, Chet Holmgren, not like the most prime Jonas Valanciunas spot, but for the minutes he's out there, he should be able to smash a little bit on Chet. Not the whitest of bodies down there in the post, but does feel more like a game that's going to be more Larry Nance here in this spot. So I'm going to look at some of those opening numbers, see if I can take advantage of, although books have gotten way better at pricing those too. So yeah, hasn't had a ton of value for the last couple weeks, at least from my noticing, but you get those odd starts and you want to try to take advantage. OKC though, friends, they're giving up one. I know Zion's been playing great. I love Herb Jones and the Pelicans. I bet them at 33-1 here to win the West. Again, I think the West is wider open than what people might think, and you're always like 1 injury, 2 injuries away from things. The Pelicans do have extra pieces sitting around these guys, and I do think even like a Jordan Hawkins coming back, that'll be something to really bolster their bench. I mean, he is out there. Dyson Daniels, the other guy, is who I was thinking of. But Jose Alvarado, decent enough, been playing mid-20s minutes here. Is a guy who's been enacted into more duty. And then again, Zion, Trey Murphy, that's been a decent enough little combination offensively. Trey Murphy getting things done. So all of this being said, Oklahoma City's healthy. Oklahoma City's the better basketball team in just about every single adjusted net rating. I mean, they're better. Pelicans have risen to 4th for what it's worth. I feel pretty good about that bet for the West. Brandon Ingram coming back is obviously very, very pivotal. But as it stands for this one, I'm all about OKC here, -1. Don't see a lot of props all that interesting in this one. Thought we might mine something out, but it's not there here as of now. Still a lot that need to get dropped. But OKC -1. It's my second favorite play. I guess I like it a little bit more than Golden State, although I have the same amount of money on both sides. I really don't give a shit. Last game of the night, but first, Bet365. 10 states, friends. I bring up every single show here, but 10 states where Bet365 is legal. Colorado, Indiana, Iowa, New Jersey, Virginia, Arizona, Kentucky, Louisiana, and now newly, North Carolina. You want to bet 5 and get 150 in bonus bets? Simply go to the link down below. Fire it up, friends. It is truly as simple as that. It's only if you're 21 and over, 18 and over in Kentucky. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Back we go to the final game of the night. Only at, the 10, 11 minute mark? This is beautiful, friends. As we go to Dallas and Sacramento. Dallas, they're about to tip off here in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. They will be tipping off here with the Utah Jazz. They'll be on a back-to-back taking on Sacramento. And Sacramento, they tee off an hour. Tee off, look at me. Just a golfer. Did you know? Golf. I love golf. We got to get some popular golf videos on here one day. My favorite sport to bet. It's really, really tough lately, though. Scotty Scheffler, he's just ruining lives. Unless you just bet him every week and then you're printing. But you're not winning that much. Oh, yeah, this one. Interestingly enough, we have two guys who like to put up a lot of triple doubles. So I just wanted to do like a little bit of an homage to both of them. Walk through the process of what am I looking at when I'm looking at triple double bets? Well, the first thing, what are your baseline rates? What am I looking at in an average matchup on an average day? And generally that is just simply looking at what the box scores are going to say all together. Yes, just going to the stats page, printing, having it figured out, and then trying to minutes for matchup, trying to adjust pace for matchup. Well, what so happened that this total isn't exactly nothing at 237.5, so up tempo for both teams. A little bit of an upgrade for Dallas, taking on a weaker defense, and a little bit of an upgrade. Dallas playing at a much faster pace this season compared to last year with Luka Doncic at the helm. But Domantas Sabonis leads this league in triple doubles. Why? Well, because the assist rate. The assist rate is kind of the key for both of these guys. I would say rebound rate a little bit more for Luka, but let's go into the specifics here. You kind of have to look at the points as a foregone conclusion for each, or at least you would hope so. Obviously, that is far more true for a Luka, who averages, 33, 34, 35 points, so you're not really ever thinking about it. But even for a Sabonis here, a guy with a 22% usage, playing 36 minutes a night, that is a lot of volume to be out there. He's got a 91st percentile true shooting, 65.4% true shooting on the season. But the baseline rates that we have, 22% usage, how many times he is going to be responsible for chucking it or getting to the line. Then you go over to the rebound rates, 33.1% defensive rebound rate, 10.8% offensive rebound rate, 33.3% assist rate. Across the board, those are ridiculous numbers. Malik Monk, though, when you start playing with the on-off court tool, it does matter having Malik Monk be somebody who's averaging 26 minutes, and then having a Kevin Huerter, who's, from an assist perspective, not nearly going to pull away from Domantas Sabonis as much. 13.8% assist rate on the season for Kevin Huerter. Malik Monk way up there at 29.3%. He plays with the ball in his hand a lot. I love Malik Monk as a player. Really fun to watch. Energetic spark plug out there. But just want it to be known that Domantas Sabonis gets a little bit of that downgrade. So when you're trying to price it for range of outcomes and you're simming out games 10,000 times, 40,000 times like we do on the DFS side, and I've started to incorporate into my process here in the NBA streets, it is one of those things that you just want to be paying very close attention to who they're going to be sharing the floor for, or share the floor with for however many minutes. And that's where I think on the back-to-back, pay attention to Fox, pay attention to Monk, pay attention to them getting ruled out, and then the corresponding price, how it changes day to day, matchup to matchup, because there are tons of places where you can pull that data, and it is very easy to find. So just wanted to throw it out there for the people. I think that's a really fun way to go about trying to build out your own projections, build out that combination, which will surely be on OddsShopper within the next couple of months here. I'm very excited to be incorporating some of that side of things where you can kind of play with your own numbers, on that main screen and still utilize the market-based approach. Oh yeah, and the Luka Doncic character, Kyrie Irving. I think you knew by now that that's the main catalyst, the guy who could kind of prevent him from having, ridiculous numbers like even money for certain triple doubles. Because a 43.1% assist rate is higher than that of Sabonis. You've got a guy with a defensive rebound rate that's still at 24%, but the rebounds definitely harder to come by than like Sabonis, who's going to average 13 and a half, 14 and a half in a lot of these type of matchups, especially with Lively and Gafford on the interior. But Kyrie, 23.3% pulling it quite a bit. Anywho, wanted to talk through the process of triple doubles a little bit more with you. Doesn't do you a lot of good without knowing the price, because both of these could be great plays. Both of these could be terrible plays. And that kind of leads me into talking about MLB from a home run perspective. Doesn't do you any good to bet on Aaron Judge at even money every single day. That's an extreme version. But plus 180 showed up a lot for him last season. Hard to mine out a ton of value unless it's just one of those he's going to put the ball in play kind of spots. So we want to be paying attention to this type of stuff come MLB as well. But Luka and Sabonis, I'm going to be paying attention to them as well as all the props and pretty much everything with this game. Dallas against the spread, pretty nifty. Anyhow, let's get out of here. Can't wait to see MLB starting up on Thursday. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. So you know what to do. Go to that comment section below. Let me know if you like talking through the process of what I'm looking at. Again, wanting to get baselines, wanting to basically say what's the neutral, and then how do things change? What are the circumstances around them? Who's on the floor with them? Who's not? Who's going to pull away numbers? Again, on-off court tool data. Very, very important in my process the night before. Something that you should start incorporating as well. Again, kind of winding down the season. I know it might seem like an unlikely thing, but there's still a lot of value to mine out here in the NBA streets. So hopefully we get some relaxed injury situations tomorrow. That would be nice, because today was too much. I'm always cheering for it, but today was too much. Anywho, producer Jacob, thank you yet again here. 2 days, and we'll be recording MLB Lindy's. Very excited about that. Check out Bet365, check out OddsShopper, use promo code Lindy for 20% off. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NBA streets on Tuesday.